Dear students, welcome to the second video of today's class. In the last video, we looked into the job of a chef and discussed what job analysis is. In this video, we are going to discuss about job description and job specification. Now, let's start with a slide from the last video. If you remember, we said that job analysis is the process through which we get these types of information, right? Now, if we take a deeper look into this definition, we will see that through job analysis, we mainly get two different types of information. One type of information tells us about the job itself. Just to elaborate, we got to know about the duties and responsibilities in the last video. Now, these are the duties and responsibilities of what? The job itself. So we are talking about the duties and responsibilities of the job itself. Then we also got to know about the working conditions. Now, the working conditions of what? Working conditions of the job itself. So these two things are information related to the job itself. On the other hand, we also got information about the person who will do the job. So in the last video, we discussed about work experience. Remember? Well, it is the experience of whom? Obviously, it is the experience of the person who will do the job. Then we discussed about qualities, right? Qualities of whom? Qualities of the person who will do the job. Similarly, we discussed about skills and personal characteristics. All of these things are information about the person who will do the job or who will be hired to do the job. So again, by doing job analysis, generally we get two different types of information. One type of information explains the job itself, and the other type of information explains the person who will do the job. So if we want to explain the whole thing in a single illustration or a picture here, we will see that by doing job analysis, we get two main outcomes. We get two different types of information. One of them gives us a list of information about the job itself. For example, duties and responsibilities of the job, working conditions of the job, and some other aspects of the job which we will discuss later. So all of these gives us a list of information about the job itself. At the same time, the other one gives us a list of information about the ideal person or candidate required for the job. For example, experience of the candidate or skills. Both of them explains the ideal person or candidate required for the job. Now, please pay attention. This is very important. In HR, these two kinds of information or two categories of information have two specific names. Now, on the left hand side, the list of information about the job itself. It is called job description. And on the right hand side, this list of information about the ideal person or candidate is called job specification or person specification. So again, job description is the list of information about the job itself. On the other hand, job specification or person specification is a list of information about the ideal person or candidate required for the job. In short, one of them explains the job and the other one explains the person who is going to do the job. So let's move on to the examples from the last video. If you remember, from the last video, we looked at the responsibilities of a chef, right? So this list of responsibilities, is it part of a job description or a job specification? Let's think for a little bit. So cook food, create new menu items, these are responsibilities of the job itself. So these things actually explains the job itself. So this is part of a job description, right? Alright, now moving on to working conditions. So again, this list of information, do they describe the job or the person? Obviously, these are working conditions of the job itself. So this list is also part of job description. Now, moving on to the next one, skills or qualities of a chef. So these skills and these qualities of a chef, does it explain the job or does it explain the person? Obviously, skills or qualities explain the person doing the job or the chef in this case. So that is why this list is a part of job specification or person specification. So once again, just to summarize, by doing job analysis, we get two kinds of information broadly speaking. On the one hand, we get a list of information that explains the job, and that is called job description. And on the other hand, we get a list of information about the ideal person or candidate required for the job, and that is called job specification or person specification. Now let us try together with another example. Let's analyze the job of a cricketer. So let's test our concept with these examples. So these 3 points, play cricket, attend training, and do exercise regularly. These are duties and responsibilities, right? So is this part of a job specification or a job description? Please think for 10 seconds and try to answer the question. Alright, all of these 3 points are responsibilities of the job. So these 3 points actually describes the responsibilities of what? The job itself. So that is why it is part of job description. Now, moving on, let's take a look at the next 3 points. Have basic knowledge of the rules of cricket, have high level of stamina, and be a good team player, just like these 3. So these 3 points, do they explain the job or do they explain the person doing the job? Again, think for a few seconds and try to answer the question. Alright, so yes, these 3 things explain the person doing the job. They tell us about the skills and qualities of the person who is supposed to do the job. So this is part of job specification. Alright, moving on. Till now, we have seen a summary of job analysis, job description, and job specification. In reality, doing all of these things is much more detailed. Just to give you an idea here, after doing job analysis, we will have something like these 2 pages. So yes, by doing job analysis, we will get a document which may be 2 or 3 pages long. So it is that detailed. Do not worry about this document for the moment. This document is actually taken from your book. And if we take a look, it contains responsibilities of the job. See, so these are all the responsibilities of a job. So do not worry for now. I will explain all of these points one by one. Alright, so now let's go into the details and analyze each of these parts of the document. But before that, let's take a look at job description and job specification in further detail. Now we have gone through some of the parts of job description and job specification. Now what is the list of all the different things that can come under job description or job specification? Remember, job description is a list of things that describes the job itself and job specification describes the person. Now here comes the detailed list. Do not get worried again. We have covered the most important parts. Trust me, the remaining parts are very small and really easy. Now, if we take a look at this list on the left under job description, we have 2 familiar words here. We already have seen and discussed job responsibilities and working conditions. Now, let's take a look at the other points and find out whether they describe the job itself as well. First, job title. So obviously, every job has a title. What is the title? It is actually the name of the post that we are applying for. So, marketing manager is a job title. Then lecturer of BBS, that is a job title. Now the job title obviously explains the job because it is the name of the job, right? So it must come under job description. Next, job location. So it tells us where the job is located, from where the job needs to be done. Is it from Dhaka or Rajshahi, or is it in Chittagong? So again, it describes the job itself, and that is why it comes under job description. Next, job summary. Again, this is a brief summary of the job. Just like we write summaries or executive summaries of a report, every job has a summary of its own, where we write down the main parts of the job. So again, this also explains the job, and that is why it comes under job description. Now, do not worry, we will see all of these points, examples in the document very soon. So if you are yet confused about what do I mean by job summary, you will get to see a real life example very soon. Moving on to the last point, machines and tools used. So what are the machines required to do the job? So again, it explains the job itself. So this one also comes under job description. So we are done with the left hand side. Now let's look at the right hand side. What are the points that can come under job specification? Now this side is really easy and we have already covered all the points. So if we take a look, we have skills, qualifications, experience, personal characteristics. We have already addressed all of these, and all of these points actually explain the person doing the job. That is why it comes under job specification. And just to add one more note, by trainings done, I mean what are the trainings needed or what are the trainings done by the person who is supposed to do the job. So again, this one also explains the person, and that is why it comes under job specification. So we are done with this huge detailed list. Finally. So in summary, all the points on the left describes the job, and that is why it comes under job description, or briefly known as JD, and all the points on the right explains the person, and that's why they come under job specification or JS. So now let me give you a final shortcut here. Whenever you hear the word job description, the first word that should click into your mind without delay is job. And whenever you hear the word job specification, the first word that should click into your mind is person. So I guess now it is clear to you what falls under job description and what falls under job specification. Alright, by now I guess all of you have mastered the concept of job description and job specification, right? So I have a little task for you below this video. I'm going to ask you some questions about job description and job specification of a tour guide. The questions will be posted as ungraded MCQs. So after this video, try to respond to those questions. Alright, now you are fully ready. Trust me, you have learned all the concepts related to job description and job specification. So in the next very short video, maybe 5 minutes, we are going to analyze page number 1 and page number 2 of the document that I showed you earlier. And trust me, given the amount of knowledge that you have gathered in the last 2 videos, it will be just a piece of cake for you. It will be nothing, trust me. So you deserve a big congratulations for completing all the major concepts of job description and job specification. So thank you once again for listening to the lecture. See you very soon in the next video.